Binance coin, also known as BNB, against Tether. So looking at a weekly chart, basically the whole history of BNB and why it's one of the stronger looking charts in crypto right now, and why I think it'll be a strong contender moving forward to the next bull run. So going back to the early days, right, our all-time high, $40, after our summer bubble went from 4 to 40, right, nice multiplier there. But our real action started taking place when we broke that high, right? You can see the breakout here, first of the year 2021, our retest of that $40 level, and then, catapult to the moon. And ever since then, we've kind of held this kind of upper stratosphere area. A lot of coins, kind of look much weaker than this chart. So looking at this, right, what have we done here? Well, look at the line. I'm not a huge fan of diagonal lines and breaking trends. I think horizontal lines are much stronger. Resistance support lines on the diagonal, whatever. Resistance support line on the horizontal, I think much stronger and much more, fundamental. But, a lot of people love the diagonal line breaks, so here you go. And you might say that looks arbitrarily drawn to fit your narrative, Chase. And you should, if you know me, if you ever seen me in my videos, I try to make my videos as unbiased as possible. I try to relay both the bull and the bear information, as anyone should, and then let you discern. But so going back to, did I arbitrarily draw this? No. Why did you draw it there and not from the wicks, or why did you draw it? I'm glad you asked, right? Go to the closing candles, right? If you put on a line chart, this shows you the closing prices, and you want to draw it in such a way where you go just from the peak. So one peak, two peak, three peaks. You don't want to be drawing it through anything else. There's even a fourth peak. So the more touch points you have, the stronger that line is. And I would agree with you that if you're saying that it does look like that's pretty well drawn, and right, you could draw it out here, right, and say, well, we haven't done it. But what happens, right? You lose your touch points, right? There's a touch point. There's 2, here's 3, here's 4, and really 5. And you can almost argue that it flipped and bounced off of the top of that now, right? So going back to our candles, right, now you can see that not arbitrarily drawn, and drawn the most solid way that you can draw them. And so if you're struggling to draw your trend lines, or you see people drawing them from the wicks on one point and then go through 17 candle bodies, or, you want to be consistent with your trend lines, the easiest way to be consistent is put it on a line chart and then draw it from the peaks, right? You don't want to be drawing them like this, right? That's not really going to help anyone, right? So I'll leave it at that. But looking at this coin, right, BNB, when will it explode again, right? Anyone's guess is as good as mine, but if you had to guess, right, history doesn't repeat, but it does often rhyme. BNB absolutely went on a tear after it broke its all-time high. So guess what? BNB, after it gets above roughly 700, right? I would say there's a real case to be made for another breakout, especially when, roughly sideways. And what are we doing again? Roughly sideways breakout, right? When the next bull run starts, right, whenever that may be, absolute bull mode liftoff, right? BNB, once we break 700, obviously it's got to go up, another 2x before we get there. Roughly, right? Let's see an exact number. So from here, we have about 130%, right? Just over 2x. So not bad, looking good. Go compare this chart to other charts, right? Not many coins are holding their, above their 2021 lows, right? It's looking really good. So based on that, and also one other thing, the weekly RSI. Let's go take a look, right? So click on that. The weekly RSI, what are we at? We're at just shy of 50, right? So RSI is relative strength. It's your comparative indicator based on that coin versus the rest of the market. So if you're going to compare your coin to the rest of the market, a la Bitcoin, I would go take a look at Bitcoin. What's Bitcoin's relative strength? Okay, 39. Is it higher than that? Right, that's good. You want your coins higher than the market leader, right? If it's not outperforming Bitcoin in strength, why would you hold anything else, right? So Bitcoin's strength, relative strength to the rest of the market, right around 39. BNB's strength to the rest of the market, a little bit higher, right? You can go down the list here, right? Go check them out, right? How about Axie Infinity? Relative strength, 30, right? Not what does that mean, right? The strength compared to the rest of the market. So not that anything against this coin, it's just likely going to struggle when the bigger moves come and quickly. You want to look for the ones that have the bigger relative strength. So go down your list, whatever your list may look like, and just start clicking on the weekly RSI, compare it to Bitcoin, right? You can do this in any time frame, right? You want to be outperforming the market leader. And that's just my 2 cents on that. Hopefully that helps somebody out there somehow, some way. That is Bitcoin. Go check out my other video. We compared these descending triangles on the last video earlier today. So if you haven't seen that, go check that one out. Pretty interesting stuff in there. And let me know what your next favorite altcoins are going forward. And maybe I'll cover those next week. Have a great weekend. Let me know what you want more of, and I will do more of it. Hit the like, hit subscribe, follow us on Telegram, and join the channel. I'll see you soon.